Hello, and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence.
And I'm Meg Hofdahl.
And this week we're talking about Ghostbusters.
Can you do I know Jaws is easy to do, but can you do the Ghostbusters theme?
There's something strange.
There we go.
If you request it, I will do it.
Oh, a puppet.
Yes. How are you today?
Good. I'm happy. It's summer. Life is good. We're doing Ghostbusters. How about you?
Yeah, my summer is almost over, and I realize, teachers are like, people are always like, wah to teachers, because, we get the summers off, but I'm excited to go back. I'm going back in 2 weeks, and that's good with me. It's been fun to be home, but I don't mind working.
You're ready.
But you know what I've been doing with my extra time?
What?
I've been rewatching Cheers from the beginning.
Cheers, the sitcom.
Yes, with, I almost said Tony Danza.
Close.
Ted Danson.
Yes, there you go.
TD, okay.
Yeah, it's the TD.
And Shelley Long.
Yes.
Kirstie Alley, of course, later.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say something because I am into the Sam and Rebecca years. Sam and Diane are my OTP.
Oh.
Because holy cow, they're so cute, and their chemistry is perfect, and the show is so good and so funny. And I guess I'm a little biased, and it's hard for me to get used to Rebecca right now. But maybe I'll come around. I mean, it's still a quality sitcom.
That's fair. I mean, remember my reaction when Doggett came and replaced Mulder on X-Files? It was not okay.
Oh, no. I was not okay either. I remember we made a piñata with Robert Patrick's face on it.
Yes. So sometimes it's really hard to accept that, when a character leaves, you have a new one. Especially with the relationship.
I know.
So would you say Cheers holds up?
Yes, I think it does. I mean, obviously there's some things that are questionable, and it's like, that wouldn't be on a sitcom now.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. And what I watched previously to that, thank you for Hulu, I watched Golden Girls from the beginning.
Oh, wow!
That was my spring semester rewatch show. And so I people are like, how do you have time to do this? Well, I put it on while I'm doing other things. I'm cooking dinner, cleaning, I'm grading some papers maybe, or whatever. And
do you think a good episode of Golden Girls would make you give a better grade on a paper?
Yes.
Do you think it affects your mood? Are teachers that fickle?
No, I don't think so. I think I grade fairly, but if somebody references Golden Girls or Cheers in a paper, maybe I'll... No, I won't. I'm going to grade fairly.
Favoritism. We all understand.
How are you feeling about August coming up? Because your kids are going to start school and then you'll be able to write again.
I wish I could. I'm bopping back and forth right now. I wish I could sing the Ghostbusters theme because I'm feeling so good. September's right around the corner, and they're going to get on that bus, and I'm going to have 6 or so hours to write and possibly watch some Hulu and Netflix.
Well, perfect.
Yeah, so I'm happy.
Speaking of September being right around the corner, we have a couple of events coming up I'll let everyone know about right at the top of the show here. In the end of August, so the last weekend in August, we're going to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Supernatural Convention. And then it's September. Do you want to let them know where we're going to be?
Yes. I believe it's the weekend of the 21st of September. We are going to be right outside of Atlanta at the Women in Horror Film Festival, and we are both so stoked for this.
Yes, it's going to be so awesome.
Yes.
So if you are anywhere near Minneapolis or Atlanta in the next 2 months, make sure to stop by and meet us and see us. And we have other appearances coming up, but those 2 specifically this month and next.
Yes, and those are 2 just awesome events. Anyway, I mean, we add the extra awesome, but they're awesome at base level. So, and this is the first Women in Horror Film Festival.
Amazing.
And there's going to be, movies. There's going to be the Soska sisters are going to be there.
Yeah, celebrities.
Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
Awesome. So let's talk about Ghostbusters.
All right.
My Ghostbusters story. Well, first of all, a little history. This movie came out in 1984, and I saw it in the theater because I was 7 at the time, and I saw it multiple times in the theater. I remember
I'm jealous.
We had already seen it a couple times in the theater, and then my dad was like, let's go to the movies. Jungle Book is out. And so he bought tickets for me and my sister to Jungle Book, and he bought himself a ticket for Ghostbusters, but we didn't know. Mm-hmm. So when it came to the point where we were going into our theaters, he started going into Ghostbusters, and he's like, well, have fun at Jungle Book. And I'm like, no, I'm going to see Ghostbusters again. He's like, this will be your third or fourth time or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm seeing Ghostbusters. I don't want to see Jungle Book.
Oh, cute.
So I never saw Jungle Book. Because I picked Ghostbusters.
Good choice.
When did you see Ghostbusters?
It's one of those things, I've mentioned this several times now, where it's like, I don't really remember a time before I saw Ghostbusters. I don't remember the first time I watched it. It came out the year I was born, so I probably saw it, on TV, renting it from Blockbuster and stuff like that. But I've mentioned several times, I had Ghostbusters 2 on... I had recorded it off of TV, and I did not have Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
So, I actually watched Ghostbusters 2 way more than I watched the original.
Okay,
which I realize is questionable, but when I think of Ghostbusters, I actually think of Ghostbusters 2. Oh. That's, like, my reference point. But I definitely, knew and was familiar with all of Ghostbusters 1.
Right.
I see my dog is running... I'm looking out the window, and my dog is not where it's supposed to be.
Do you need to go get him or her?
Yes.
Okay. So, a few facts about Ghostbusters. It was directed by Ivan Reitman. It had a budget of $30 million, and the box office, this sounds like a lot, especially for 1984, it took in $295 million.
That does sound like a lot.
And we know Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd wrote the script, and they also star in it.
So, one thing that my husband told me was that, and this was like when we were first dating, and I kind of read it as sort of a litmus test of where he was on the horror spectrum, was that he was too afraid of Ghostbusters when he was little. And that was like a real red flag for me. I mean, I still married him.
Yeah.
But
she looks at him cross-eyed.
Yeah. I was like, okay. To me, like, my kids have watched that one, and we've discussed before, my kids are not really into scary movies, but, like, they like
can handle it?
They can handle Ghostbusters. So I'm very concerned about my husband. I don't know.
Do you think, could he watch it now?
Oh, yeah. Okay. He watches it now. He's fine. And he likes certain horror movies, but he also, we've told the Descent story.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's kind of a wiener. But that was my first clue.
So they go to the library,
yes,
because it's haunted, and the old card catalogs, it gives me a feeling of nostalgia. And we don't see the ghost right away, but we know the ghost is there. Later, when we do see the ghost, it's terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
That always scared me.
That was what my husband said did it. He only could make it to that. It was the library ghost in the library. And then he was out. No, that is a scary ghost. Not to start deconstructing, but it made me think of Jaws, where it was a woman in the beginning, and the old librarian does not die, thankfully, but it was almost the same setup of a woman by herself gets scared, and then the men come.
Right. I know.
I got that same feeling.
And I'm watching it through this different lens, and especially since we had the new Ghostbusters last summer with starring 4 women who were not sexualized at all and not victims. Mm-hmm. It's all of a sudden like, oh, the first woman they show, she's a victim. And then they ask her, is she menstruating?
I wrote, seriously. I watched this movie about a year ago before the reboot came out because I wanted to show it to my kids, and which is cute because now they just refer to the reboot as Ghostbusters 3. They just see it as a continuation. Yeah. But... yeah, the menstruating line, and I guess it's supposed to be funny.
Oh, boy.
It fell flat for me. Yeah. That was not a good joke.
And so, backing up, that woman, she's a victim, and then they make fun of her, basically saying, oh, you're either crazy.
Yeah.
They don't believe her. Well, at least Bill Murray doesn't.
Yeah.
Dr. Venkman. But then we see Dr. Venkman before that scene shocking a guy, and even though he does get some things right, and then just hitting on the girl.
Yes.
And this is like sexual harassment.
Yeah. That's my question to you. Bill Murray, charming or asshole?
No, he's an asshole.
I know it's so hard because I think I think we've been programmed to be like, that's so charming, you know, like,
oh,
he's
my
so
gosh.
funny.
And Dana Barrett is telling him no throughout, like, she doesn't want to date him. And now she eventually comes around, but why?
Yeah, I know.
This creeper, if he's, like, coming into your apartment and saying that he loves you, no.
Yeah.
I would be on the phone so fast.
It was the first time they've met, and he's like, I'm in love with you. And, of course, we know he's being tongue-in-cheek, and we know he's being, you know, funny and charming, but... No.
If this happened in real life,
yeah, it would be like, I'm calling the police.
Yeah,
I know.
And no, I've never been in love with Bill Murray. I have appreciated him in movies.
I think he's great in this movie. Yes, he is very much stalkery. Here's what I think. I almost like feel like of all the movies, that this one seems to be the one that male fans are the most defensive of.
Right.
And I think it's because they have the most to be defensive of, because there's a lot of problematic things in this movie. I say that saying I love this movie. It's a great film. But there are a lot of problematic things that, looking from a 2017 perspective. And it seems like men get very defensive very quickly about this movie.
Right.
We say all of these things looking from a 2017 lens. I think in 1984... Bill Murray came off very sweet and lovable.
Yeah, and he's so funny, and why doesn't she love him? He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious and charming, and I'm a big fan of a lot of his movies, but boy, like you said, it's almost like having this female version just really puts the microscope on all the things in this movie that make me feel icky.
Exactly. Okay, so... And I wrote this down. This is maybe obnoxious. The first woman we see is a victim. The second woman we see, she's a dumb blonde, and she's a sex object. Mm-hmm. The third woman we see, she's the realtor. She has 2 lines. Mm-hmm. Then we meet Dana Barrett. She's a love interest, and she's also...
I do like her, and I feel like she has a career, and she doesn't seem to... Her number one thing doesn't seem to be, like, searching for a man.
No.
So I do like her character.
We meet Janine next. She's a nerd, but
yes,
also
I identified with her the most.
Yeah, I did too. She has glasses, and he makes fun of her for her glasses, and I always feel really sensitive about that.
He did apologize, thankfully, but still can't be doing that.
Next, the last woman who has a line or a major line is a maid, and then they have a couple people at the party with Rick Moranis. Yep. You know.
No, I definitely watched this feeling as though it was written for men, and that the humor is very much for men. You know,
right.
I felt like a lot of the jokes were really boys' club jokes.
Yeah.
You know? And it's disappointing. Like I said, I'm almost like concerned. I know people are listening are like, but it's Ghostbusters, that's wonderful, and we love Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But part of our feminist job is to report the facts to you.
Yes.
And we'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think that, you know, it's all in good fun and it doesn't matter? I don't know. I think there's a harm in this kind of movie making sometimes to girls like us who really love horror and want to be a part of it. I feel like the film kind of, I don't know, leaves me a little cold.
Well, and it's kind of like the thing you mentioned about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You always had to play April. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, when we play Ghostbusters, you have to be Janine, because Janine's a girl. And yes, I know Janine in the animated series puts on a Ghostbuster outfit. Mm-hmm. But it's not the same as having someone be equal and appear... and not a victim, nobody to be saved.
And we have the magnificent Sigourney Weaver, who is Ripley, of course. Yeah. And so we know how much ass she can kick. And I do feel like her character in this movie, I actually do think it's a fully realized character. But we don't get to see her really, like, do much. You know?
Right.
She is kind of a victim.
Yeah.
She's a victim.
Her scenes are... great, and just her acting is amazing. Like the first scene when she encounters Zool and the eggs are popping out and frying on the counter, that's great. And then she opens the fridge, and then it's terrifying. It was always so scary when she gets pulled into that chair and sucked into the kitchen. That's so scary.
That's so scary. Oh yeah, and this movie really effectively is scary and funny. And we were talking about this before with horror comedies. Yeah. Is like it has to be scary enough for it to land. And this movie, of course, is the epitome of that, where it's funny and scary.
Yeah.
I think.
Rick Moranis, I love him too. He's Canadian, and if you don't know, listeners, Meg was born in Canada, so she has dual citizenship.
And so, therefore, I took an oath to love Rick Moranis.
When you're born, you sign in your own blood.
Yes.
All Canadians.
Yes, we must. Yes. I mean, he's so cute.
Great, and he's lovable, and I love his character so much, and I always feel so sorry for him.
I know, and it's one of those things too where, although his like bothering of Dana, I feel is like much more innocent. Like, he's not like bothering her in any sort of like
he really wants to be her friend.
Yeah, he's just trying to be her neighbor and friend. When my kids watched this movie, they both liked his character the most, and they were laughing at things he was doing the most.
His facial expressions when he has that strainer on his head, and they're doing all the questions and stuff. He's hilarious. He hands the lamp to Egon. Oh, I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's great. Who else is in this movie? I feel like Ernie Hudson doesn't get to be in the movie very much.
No, he's not in the movie very much. But yeah, he's the new Ghostbuster that they hire, and then you said you didn't remember that Egon and Janine.
No, because so the way I like see the universe is because I'm so steeped in Ghostbusters too, is that in that movie Janine and Louis, Rick Moranis, are like hardcore making out, and so I always see them as a couple in my mind. So this is honestly the first time I realized she was flirting with Egon in the first movie.
Oh,
like I just didn't pay attention, even when I watched it with my kids a year ago. Like it didn't register or something.
That's so funny.
That's kind of cute. Yeah. I ship it. Yeah, for sure.
Something comparing to the movie that came out last summer and this one, I love that. You know, these guys are looking at real estate and this old firehouse. They're seeing all the problems with it, but then they end up getting it. They even say it's too expensive, but they end up getting it because Dan Aykroyd's character loves it, and they're like, okay, we'll take it. And in the new Ghostbusters, they look at a firehouse, and they're like, no, there's no way we could afford that, and they end up being over a Chinese restaurant, which I think is hilarious, because real estate in New York City, back then even, no way.
I can't even imagine.
And they have this money because, you know, Dan Aykroyd sold his childhood home, like, unless it was on Martha's Vineyard, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's So, okay, let's play, you know how people always are like, I'm a Samantha, I'm a Carrie. Oh. Okay, let's do that with this. So, which of the 4 Ghostbusters, not the women, who do you feel like you're the most like?
Well, if I'm going by the 3 Ghostbusters in this movie, you're saying?
Well, yeah, I was including,
Janine?
No, I was including, Ernie Hudson.
Oh, sorry, Ernie. I guess I always related to Egon because he had glasses.
Oh, interesting.
And let me just put a glasses plug out there. I've worn glasses since I was 3. I wore contacts for much of my life, decades, but you don't see a lot of people in media with glasses, and if you do, they're nerds. Yeah. And so I've always identified with that because I feel like, oh, they have glasses and I do too, but I guess I'm a nerd. And but you never see, and the women are only sexy if they take off their glasses and let down their hair. Yeah. And so we need more representation in media of women, women who are attractive who can wear glasses. Thank you.
You're so right. I remember you saying in New Girl that she had glasses on, and it was this
Zooey Deschanel. Scene. Yeah, and she was actually kissing the guy, and she had her glasses on. Yeah, like, thanks.
And it's so funny because it's not. I never noticed it, and that's kind of like what is that whole privilege thing. It's like, I literally don't wear glasses, so I never even noticed it. Yeah. So,
and I mean, this is a small thing. Obviously, you know, it hasn't affected my life.
I think it's important.
Yeah, but it is important when you see yourself reflected in the media.
We all want to see ourselves reflected back. Okay,
How about you?
This is hard because I feel like I have like the skepticism of Bill Murray, but I also feel like I'm kind of a Dan Aykroyd, where I'm like kind of like maybe a more like lighthearted. Okay. Not taking things too seriously. I don't know. But then I also identify with Slimer because did you see him like shotgunning that It was the room service.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And Kelly's seen me eat room service, so I feel like Slimer, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love Slimer. And then, of course, in the cartoon, Slimer's a good guy and a friend.
Yes. Yeah, who out there watched the cartoon? That was it. That was cute. Fun.
Yeah, I've got it on DVD.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Does
I think it's available...
Your kids like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Camel likes it. Vienna isn't into the cartoon. She actually was first exposed to the female Ghostbusters, and that's her Ghostbusters, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is very cool. In fact, when I was watching this rewatch of Ghostbusters, my 6-year-old was like, there was a scene in it, and he's like, oh yeah, remember there's a scene just like that in Ghostbusters 3, he calls it. And I'm like, oh yeah, so he is definitely using that as a reference point too, which is really cool.
And Vienna came in, and she's like, is the mannequin part over? Because she's scared of the mannequin part. I'm like, nope, that's not in this one.
So, what are your thoughts about the remake? Or the reboot?
I love the reboot. I loved the characters. Jillian Holtzman is my spirit animal. She's amazing, and the scene at the end when she's fighting, she's got the 2 guns, and she does a lick, I think, on the gun.
Yes.
When she's kicking butt... It made me feel something that I didn't know existed. And the only thing I can compare it to now is the feeling that I got that feeling also watching the new Wonder Woman movie. Because it's like, oh, somebody tweeted, this is why men walk around feeling confident all the time, because they see themselves represented on screen all the time. And I'm so jealous that they get that. We just had a bit of it with that scene. I also love Melissa McCarthy. I think she's hilarious. Of course, Kristen Wiig and Leslie Jones is amazing. And I think the whole Kevin as the receptionist is hilarious. Something that I also love about the reboot of Ghostbusters is that we got to see an upgrade of some weapons and some other things besides just the...
Well, and the CGI and all that too, which is kind of nice. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think Ghostbusters does a pretty good job for it in 1984. Actually, a very good job. But it's nice to see some upgraded weapons upgrades. And upgraded, all that stuff.
And I appreciated the little nods and winks to the original. And I love the cameos. I thought that was really special that we got to see some of them and the bust of Harold Ramis. And I thought it was cute. I appreciated it, and I loved it.
Well, and I wish people would get over this idea that having a remake or a reboot in any way hurts the original or is not fair to the original. Or I mean, if great literature like Shakespeare can be produced over and over again in many different ways in different movies, and I mean, if that can happen, then I think we can remake a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's good, then we can appreciate it. We don't have to go against it. Well, so, for example, the Evil Dead remake or reboot, I loved it. I thought it was really well done.
It was excellent.
Some people were like, no, if Bruce Campbell's not in it, then I'm not going to see it.
And I'm always a fan of thinking, it's going to make people go, ooh, I want to check out the original. That's happened to me where I've watched a remake, like The Hills Have Eyes, for example, and then I went back and I watched the first one.
I know a lot of people complain too because it's like, well, Hollywood's run out of ideas and whatever, but I don't think we always have to look at it like that.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest. There's only so many things. There's a love story. There's all these different things. That's something you kind of learn as a writer is that there's only so many stories you can tell, but it's how you tell them. That's why a shot-for-shot remake like Psycho we're talking about, that's pointless because they were just copying.
Right.
But if another filmmaker takes an idea and does it themselves, then they're using their own art with this same story.
And it doesn't mean it's better, it's just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah.
So there's room for all, is what I say.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you write down?
Well, a lot of my stuff is about Bill Murray's sexual harassment.
There's a lot.
I wrote, when he goes over for the date and she's possessed.
Yeah.
I said, at least he doesn't take advantage of her, but then the very next line I wrote, okay, but he drugs her and then he's kissing her on the neck when she's passed out. So that was kind of creepy, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to the mayor's office and it's just a bunch of white men arguing, and I just think it's funny, like some priest or bishop or something comes in. It's not the Pope, but Pope-esque, and are they consulting him the famous line, dogs, cats living together. It's great. But it's just a bunch of men arguing in a room.
You know what? I have gotten to this point where, and this has been happening, like, this is in Jaws, this is in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. There's just a bunch of white men arguing in a room, and I'm, like, nodding off every time.
I know.
Like, I'm so tired of that scene being in a movie.
Right.
I mean, it's just, let's just cut that out.
Yeah.
I'm getting so tired of it. It's like, I don't have time for this.
Oh, I know. And
I
know.
want to see them, like, kick more ghost butt.
Yeah,
you know?
right? Give me more scares. Give me more love story. Anything.
Or even just Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and the others just sitting around, like, having a heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or a comedic moment. I don't care.
Or maybe Bill Murray admitting he's scared.
Right?
I was watching this and I was thinking, that's why I think a lot of men love this movie. And there are reasons to love this movie. There's so many, but I think they want to be Bill Murray because he's not scared of anything. He doesn't seem scared of anything. Like, at every moment he has a quip.
Yeah.
At every moment he does not seem freaked out. And I think there's, like, this feeling of, I think men especially feel that they need to be like that. Which is unfortunate. You shouldn't feel like you have to be like that. But I feel like there's that draw of, like, I want to be like that, where it's like I'm in the middle of it and I can just say something funny and I'm not scared.
Right.
You know?
So I keep coming back to my communication lessons, but here it's this thing called the cowboy syndrome. And in America especially, we think about the old westerns and the cowboys, and they were tough and they were invincible and they didn't cry. They didn't show emotion. And that is actually prevalent in the U.S. And maybe it's changing a little bit now within this generation, but men suffer from the cowboy syndrome, thinking they can't show emotion. Right. They have to be strong. They have to be masculine. All of this, like, machismo stuff.
It's a very similar pressure to how women feel about certain things.
Right.
It's something society has made us think that we have to be a certain way or feel a certain way. And, yeah, I feel like there's this draw of, like, oh, these Ghostbusters, they are right in the middle of the fire and they never get scared, you know? Especially Bill Murray.
Yeah. So it's okay, you guys. Feel what you feel.
Feel what you feel. Cry. Be
I'll start
scared.
Crying right now.
Be like my husband and just admit that Ghostbusters is too scary.
We won't make fun of you. Like call you a wiener like we do for him.
Yeah, wait a minute.
No, it's only okay because...
we're perpetuating it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, we need to check ourselves.
Okay.
What else do you have written down for your notes, Meg?
I mean, I feel like we covered... I wrote penis because you, when we were doing Jaws, you were like, I've never wrote penis down so many times. And I wrote penis down because for Jaws, you were... You said, I have not written penis down so many times in my life. Except for all the fanfic you write.
Oh, right.
But anyway, I was feeling a penis feelings because I feel like don't cross the streams. I feel like that's really penis-y.
Yeah.
And just like the equipment they're using.
The extension of
themselves. They're using this equipment that's very phallic and very manly. I wonder if in the women one, did you feel like they were using less phallic equipment? I can't remember.
Yeah, probably. And, they had the different kinds, like the grenade kind and the little pistol kind. And
Right, exactly. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. Is it that time?
It is that time.
Okay. Did it live up to your memories of it?
I've seen it so many times, so yes. Mm-hmm. Keep going, because I think my what I was going to say will be answered.
Okay. Did any scene stand out to you in the rewatch?
So I'm going to combine the next two questions, because the next question then is anything I didn't remember. Yeah. And I guess what stood out to me and what I didn't remember is basically how creepy Bill Murray was, like, from this lens of 2017. And if this actually happened, and I know it's part comedy, but no, that's not okay.
No, it's not okay.
How
he made her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And he's this professional coming over trying to help with this serious situation. I mean, if you saw a demon in your fridge, and he's just basically like, oh, whatever. And it's almost like he doesn't believe her because he's sort of skeptical about all this anyway, even though he's a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic because hasn't he devoted his life to this?
Right.
Yet he doesn't seem to believe anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, did it pass the Bechdel test?
No.
Did Janine and Dana have
they never even saw each other. Did they? Oh, well, she's like, I need to see somebody. Well, does that pass? No.
No, that's not enough.
Because she's like, I need to talk to somebody,
we need
and then
raise the bar of the Bechdel test. There needs to be like a full conversation.
Yeah, not just a couple of
Not
words.
just like, can I have a cup of tea?
So no, it didn't. That's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Was it scary when you were a kid?
Yes.
And is it scary now that you're an adult?
There's still some scary parts.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm not hiding from them, but yeah, I mean, it's still creepy.
Oh yeah.
And shocking, and yeah.
I think so.
Hi, horror friends. We have a guest today.
Hi, it's me, Kelly.
All the way in New York visiting
Yay.
me. Lisa, yay, it's the best. It's the best. She's watched a few horror movies with me and made them less scary, so thanks, Kelly.
I'm like, okay, this is about to happen, so don't worry. Something's about to happen. This person's going to get killed, or they're going to live all the way through.
And I love it.
But there's a couple things I've forgotten, and I got to see Lisa jump towards the ceiling, so that's great.
The fear is real, friends. Today we are celebrating Ghostbusters, right? The original. And to do that, I would like to teach you how to make what I'm calling Ecto Foam. For this drink, you're going to need gin. You're going to need Grand Marnier. You're going to need some matcha. If you can find it pre-made, go that route, because I feel like it's probably more complicated than I'm able to attain. So get it in your cooler. This one is got a hint of honey, which is really nice. It helps sweeten this up a little bit. And finally, egg whites. If you feel like you're a skilled egg-matic person, go ahead, get your own egg whites. This is a really clean way to do it, though.
And they're pasteurized, and you can drink them into smoothies and everything like that. So
yeah, we're gonna
handy.
get some protein in
See, this is all really healthy, I feel like.
Right? Yes, we will fight the ghosts with our strength. We're gonna start with our handy dandy horror rewind shaker. Have you been like wondering what are you gonna make your drinks in? Now we can help you. We can help you. Go to our website, find the Etsy link, get your own. So let's get started. This is a little untraditional, unconventional, both. We're going to put all of our ingredients into the shaker without ice. This is what's going to allow us to get some good foam from those eggs. So first, 1.5 ounces of your favorite gin, 1/2 ounce Grand Marnier. I want to just say hi to LaCour and Richard and know that I think of you while I make this drink. I'm gonna sneak around and grab 1.5 ounces of the matcha.
So this is a green tea, right?
Yes. Okay. My big thing was I really wanted this to be green, and I didn't want to use Midori, everyone. Sometimes I just get obstinate. And 1 ounce of egg white. Everybody's into the party. We're gonna put our lid on, and we're really gonna shake. Kelly, this is how I found if you engage your abs, it's a really
little bit of exercise. See, this is so healthy, everybody. You are going to get your workout in, and you're going to get your protein and your tea. It's got antioxidants.
Yes. Okay.
Plus your alcohol, right?
And now you're gonna hear it, because there's a bit of pressure that builds up in there.
Oh.
So how I like to do this, there may be a better way. I just don't know it yet. We're gonna go like barista. And we're gonna hop in here and grab some of the foam. Come here, foam. Just a little bit. And then we're gonna dump that on top. And we'll probably get some more as we shake it with the ice. So just a little bit of foam, set that aside in a little container. Now I'm gonna grab the ice. In we go, and let's start this party one more time. Again, everybody engage your core, and let's go ahead, scoop some more green foam, plop it in there to make sure we don't lose it when we pour. Good. Back on. Lots of steps today, friends. Take that top off. And I forgot to tell you, we're using a coupe glass. Rhymes with shoop.
Coupe, baby, coupe.
Take a ride in my coupe. Shoop. So, let's go ahead and pour this beautiful green Ecto into our coupe. Shake and shake and shake, and you're gonna notice the egg. So what the egg does is it just sort of smooths out the flavors. Gin scares me. I've never really committed to it, but the egg, would you say?
It totally, I don't know, soothes the taste.
Tames it out a little bit. So now we're gonna layer this foam right on top.
Beautiful.
Ta-da!
Cheers.
Cheers.
To fighting ghosts.
Ooh. It's healthy.
Yes, it's good.
I have to believe it's healthy. Cheers to you, Horror Rewind friends. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay, it's time for Fast Forward. Meg, what do you want to talk about this week?
Okay, well, I'm actually talking about something I haven't seen yet. but I watched the trailer, and it's Annabelle Creation.
Oh, I did not watch the trailer for this yet.
So let me describe it to you. Basically, it looks like it takes place in, I'm guessing maybe 1930s.
This is like the actual origin story.
This is the origin story of Annabelle.
Oh my gosh.
It's taking
Annabelle's
place.
So creepy.
I know. It's taking place in like an orphanage, and the main girl.
I'm already scared.
Yeah, the main girl has like leg braces on, so she can't like get away from things.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, I know. I have goosebumps just saying it. So she like can't get up and down stairs.
No.
Yeah, she has leg braces.
This is terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. So you told me to watch Annabelle, because I hadn't watched
We watched it together.
Yeah, we watched it together. You're like, no, you should watch this. And I just kind of wrote it off like, this is not going to be anything. And then when you had a good reaction to it, I was like, oh, okay. And then we watched it together, and it was so scary. There were some really creepy moments in that. Like, genuinely, it was a very well done movie.
Yeah, and a creepy doll is never okay. And then especially in the movie Annabelle, like the child, is in peril perhaps, and this doll is moving or door slammed. That's scary.
Yeah. So this trailer basically, it's going to be the origin story of Annabelle. It sounds like basically what I could get from the trailer is that a couple who loses their child thinks that their child is trying to inhabit the doll, but it's actually an evil child that's died or something.
Oh gosh.
And then later is the orphanage, and it's this little girl in peril who can't walk. And it's like terrifying. Just the trailer, I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's coming out on the 11th of August.
So next
So I
week.
have not seen it, but we need to go see it because
yes,
it looks really scary.
No, that's totally creepy.
Yes.
And I also, the other part of Annabelle that I liked, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but they had the real killers. Was it like Charles Manson-esque, like cult members?
Yeah.
And then they came into that couple's house, and that's really creepy.
Oh, yeah.
They murdered the neighbors, and then they came into their house, and I thought that was like
that was well
inhabiting
done.
the doll or something, and that's scary because that's real. There's cults.
I know.
And there's crazy people.
Yeah. There was definitely it was like, because it took place in the 60s, right? So yeah, it had that kind of Charles Manson feel. But anyway, like I said, I haven't seen Annabelle Creation yet, but just based on the trailer, and it's gotten good reviews, and it just looks like an actual genuine creepy scary movie.
Now, are the Conjuring movies in that same world? Is that all in the same universe?
Yeah, so in the Conjuring, I think the doll is like at their house, because it's based on this real life couple who
the investigators.
Yes, the Warrens.
Yeah.
And you just see the doll, and it's behind glass, and it says like "Do not touch" or something.
Okay.
And then they spun it off. Yeah.
Okay.
And now there's going to be the Nun spin-off.
Ooh, that's so scary. Yes, creepy, I do.
Yeah. I liked the first Conjuring.
I like the first one too. I haven't seen the second.
Okay, it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think of what is her name? Lily Allen?
Oh, Taylor.
Lily Taylor, sorry. Yeah. Lily Allen is the singer we like.
Yeah, I like her.
Lily Taylor at the top of the stairs, and then the clapping happens next to her, and the light goes out. Do you remember that?
Yes. There's some just really effective parts in that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary.
Yeah, that was another one that kind of surprised me. I get kind of skeptical. Just call me Bill Murray, but I get kind of skeptical sometimes with horror movies, because there are a lot of bad ones, and I don't know. Have you seen any bad ones lately, or started any bad ones that you're just like, no, I'm not going to give this my time?
There was, you know what I started? It was that Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse,
sure.
And then it was just something like right at the beginning that turned me off, and I was like, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that that's necessarily horror, but there's zombies in it. And I saw the preview, and I mean, it looked funny. I didn't see it in the theater or anything, but...
there was a British TV show that was like a zombie sort of comedy or something, and it was two women, and I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. And the tone of the humor was so off in like the first minute. I was like, nope, not not gonna happen. And then remember we tried to watch The Disappointments Room on the plane.
Oh yeah, we had to stop that.
That was bad, you guys. Sorry, sorry if Kate Beckinsale's listening.
Well, and we didn't get far enough to see anything cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But what was annoying us is Kate Beckinsale had perfect hair and makeup, and her character just seemed so, I don't know, out there and flighty or.
Well, she's one of those that wakes up with complete full makeup on. And come on.
I mean, put her hair in a ponytail or something.
Yeah, do something.
I don't know, and maybe it was going to be scary, but the thing that got us is she opens up this armoire and bats fly out, and then she just keeps going. It's like
she's like, oh, this happens to me every day.
There was no reaction, right?
Yeah.
Well, she's a strong female character. Maybe we didn't give it a chance.
Maybe we didn't give her.
Maybe she had tattooed makeup. We don't know.
Yeah, we shouldn't judge.
I think the only movie that I've walked out of, and it was with you, and we didn't walk out because it was bad, but because we got the giggles, was the movie Stay? Was that what it was called? Which is ironic.
Yeah, that is ironic.
But it was with Ewan McGregor and Ryan Gosling.
And it was his pants.
And it was he was wearing high water pants.
We were literally in the theater, because we would watch anything that Ewan McGregor's in, of course. And he was wearing these high water pants.
And for some reason it struck us as funny.
We just got the giggles so bad that we had to leave because we didn't want to ruin the movie for other people.
It was a theater full of people.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the front.
And
we had to walk past everybody laughing our butts off.
Ugly laughing. So we just were out of there. Remember that happened at the beginning of The Artist? I had to leave because I was laughing, and then I had to come, and then I came back in, and I was serious.
Thank God.
But I had the giggles before The Artist even started.
Because we were at a theater and they whisper the name of the theater. Should we give them a plug?
Yeah, sure.
It's the Warenberg movie theater, and they go, Warenberg. And it's just
and it just got us laughing, and then you were able to keep your composure, but I had to leave.
Oh, the giggles. What's the last time? We got the giggles in France over the mime.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I love those moments.
You know how it is when you're with a friend, and then if you were by yourself, you would be fine.
Right. But it's the worst when it's actually in a public place.
Oh, my gosh. There's some times where we
could get in trouble if we were together. Oh.
Yeah.
So we need to rank.
Oh!
Ghostbusters, and then the upcoming Annabelle movie.
Okay.
And what do you think is a good ranking?
Slimers? Or is that too... Should we go for I don't know. They don't really have it's a weapon or...
Proton packs?
That sounds kind of gross. Proton packs just doesn't feel right.
No. Let's just go with Slimer. Slimer hot dogs?
Okay.
Because he's eating the hot dogs, right?
Yeah, Slimer hot dogs. Yeah.
Does he eat the hot dogs?
Yeah, because there's a scene where he's got all the hot dogs in his mouth.
We're going back to phallic here.
I was gonna say, there's just so many penises in this movie. The part where Dan Aykroyd has the ghost is undoing his belt.
I know. It
just feels like such a movie for men.
That's such an unnecessary scene, right?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, okay. So how many phallic hot dogs, Slimer hot dogs, do you rank Ghostbusters? 0 being you hated it, 10 being it's a perfect movie.
I give it 8 because it's funny. It kind of really, I think, started a new generation of horror movies. It has amazing talent in it. It has pretty decent CGI for 1984, or the technical stuff. And yeah, I give it an 8.
I would also give it an 8. I loved it. I still love it. Out of 0 to 10 phallic Slimer hot dogs, what do you rank the Annabelle trailer? And I just have to rank it on the...
I'm going to give it an 8 because I haven't seen the movie, but it looks scary.
I am ranking it a 9 because your description of it literally gave me goosebumps and the hairs on my arms stood up.
All right.
So I'm excited.
Yay.
So remember, come see us if you're in Minneapolis later this month in a couple weeks. We're going to be at that Supernatural convention. And I think that even the public can come on Thursday, right? You don't even need a ticket?
Yes, on Thursday with setting up. It's at the Minneapolis Convention Center. You can actually just come and say hi to us.
Oh, and we're going to have recording equipment there because we're going to have a special
yeah.
fan episode of your movie memories. So come and record something.
So you can come and talk Ghostbusters or any movie you want.
Make sure to email us if you want to be a sponsor, horrorrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all of our social media. We are Horror Rewind. Make sure to check out Meg's books. Remember, you've got to get caught up before her novel comes out in October.
And make sure you check out Kelly's Etsy page. She's got really cool stuff on there, and I want to buy it all.
Yay! So have a great week, everybody. We'll see you in the horror section.